I'm back. You're back. We're back. All right, social studies time. So we are going to continue reading the section that we left off in, and we're going to be answering some questions on page 289, numbers 2 through 4. We're not doing number 1. We're not doing 5, 6, and 7. I just want 2 through 4 in complete sentences answered in the Google Doc that I am sharing with you. Now, we read the first part of this section for assignment number 2. I think that was on March 31st. So if you need to go back through and rewatch that, that is fine. If you want to read these pages on your own, you can stop the video and then do the assignment as well. All right. I'm just going to start reading. For those of you that want to follow along, pay attention. I'll also read the questions at the end and try to reword them and rephrase them for you because sometimes the wording in this book gets a little tricky. All right, so we left off on page 285, ecosystems. So that red title, ecosystems, and it has the different pictures of the capybaras and the scarlet ibis, that bird. Page 285. So I'll just read. Ecosystems. If you traveled across Caribbean South America, you would pass through a variety of climate zones. You would also notice a different range of vegetation and animal life in each climate zone. The plants and animals that depend on each other and their environment for survival is called an ecosystem. Along the Pacific coast of Colombia, warm temperatures and heavy rainfall have encouraged the growth of a lush rainforest. Unique species of plants and animals thrive in these wet forests. Jaguars, coatimundi, giant anteaters, and tapirs hunt for food in this environment. The Andes Mountains separate the western rainforest from one of the largest ecosystems in the region, the Llanos. Here, grassland and wetlands support many different kinds of plants and animals. Capybaras, the world's largest rodents, feed on plants along the waterways. In turn, anacondas, giant snakes, can grow up to be 26 feet long. Prey on the capybaras and other animals. In the far eastern area of the region, the Orinoco Delta supports an ecosystem that changes according to the season. During dry conditions, this area includes a mix of forests, wetlands, mangrove swamps, and grasslands. However, during the rainy season, most of the ground is flooded, providing good hunting for crocodiles and otters. Flip the page, 286, people and the landscape. Human settlement and trade have always tied the region to the Caribbean world. Native Americans created a network of trade that linked the Caribbean islands to the mainland. Later, the Spanish created another economic web that connected all the lands of the Caribbean Sea. Along the coast, Europeans established ports that prospered from the lively shipping trade. Settlers avoided areas farther inland because they feared diseases carried by insects. But the fertile soil and cooler temperatures of the highlands attracted settlement into the middle elevations. In Colombia, European settlers reached the higher ground in the Andes by traveling through the river valleys between the cordilleras. That's a hard word to say. Cordilleras. However, east-west transportation and communication were difficult. The Cordilleras isolated communities, so political unification was not easy. Page 287, where people live. In Colombia, 80% of the population lives in the high, cooler elevation of the Andes. Colombia's 3 largest cities, Bogota, Medellin, and Cali, are all located here. For the most part, Colombia's eastern border is still covered by tropical rainforest. As in colonial days, the country's Caribbean coast has many busy ports. Caracas, the capital of Venezuela, is by far the largest city in the region. Today, Venezuela has one of South America's most urban societies. In fact, 9 out of 10 Venezuelans live in urban areas. In recent years, the country's huge population of urban poor has become a major political force. Most people in Guyana, Suriname, and French Guiana live in the lowlands and along the coast. Guyana, Suriname, and French Guiana have small populations, in contrast to the heavy populated countries of Colombia and Venezuela. Page 288. How people use their land. Along the coastal plains of Guyana, Suriname, and French Guiana, people grow crops for export. Large commercial farms produce sugarcane, bananas, and rice. They also export molasses, rum, and shrimp. Canals drain the soggy ground and provide fertile agricultural land. In Venezuela, not much of the land is suitable for farming. The Orinoco River Valley floods during the wet season and is too dry at other times. Only 13% of Venezuela's labor force is involved in farming, and there is little agricultural support. Mining activities in Venezuela are scattered, but oil is concentrated in and around Lake Maracaibo. Oil is very important to Venezuela's economy. Colombia's land use differs from Venezuela's. Colombians extract less oil and minerals, but export more agricultural products. Although Colombians are able to farm only 2% of the land, they export coffee, bananas, and cut flowers. Farmers in Colombia also grow sugarcane, cacao beans, I think that's what it is, oilseed, corn, and tobacco for sale within the country. The Andes, the variety of climates in the highlands of the Andes means that many different crops can be grown there. Bananas and sugarcane are grown at lower levels, while crops such as barley, wheat, and potatoes can grow at higher elevations. In the mountains, people gain the flat land they need through terraced farming, sculpting the hillside into different levels for crops. So it looks like steps. They have that in western Nebraska as well. So they just make a hill like this and they cut into it, so then there's flat land to farm. All right, page 289, a diverse population. The region's population is ethnically and culturally diverse. Unlike many other regions of South America, Native Americans make up only a small percentage of the population. Many of the original people of the region died of European diseases. Over the centuries, the remaining population of Native Americans intermarried with Europeans. Their descendants are known as mestizos, but there was also intermarriage between Africans and Europeans as well, between Africans and Native Americans. Although there was much intermarriage, many groups have remained ethnically distinct. Throughout the region are communities of Maroons, people descended from Africans who escaped slavery. These Africans fled into the rainforest where they joined with others for mutual protection. After slavery ended in the 1800s, workers from around the world arrived to labor on the plantations. In Guyana and Suriname, the dominant ethnic group is made up of people descended from workers who migrated from India. There are also significant numbers of Chinese and Havanese from the Indonesian island of Java. In French Guiana, most of the population is of mixed European and African descent. The variety of ethnic groups in the region has led to much cultural borrowing. In French Guiana, local dances reveal an influence of African, Indian, and French traditions. People in the former British colony of Guyana play cricket, while Venezuelans love baseball, thanks to cultural ties with the United States. The region's location on the northern coast of South America has given it strong cultural connections with the Caribbean world. Today, this Caribbean heritage can be heard in some of the music of the region. It can also be seen in cultural traditions like Carnival. In the next section, you will read how the region's unique cultural identity developed. All right, getting into the questions on the bottom of page 289. Number 2, it says, what are some features shared by all nations in this region? Honestly, anything that they have in common, anything that they share, I'm fine with. I'd like 3 of them, okay? Number 3, what are some natural resources in this region? Again, things that they grow, things that can be found there, how people use their land, how people make a living, natural resources, all right? And then number 4, where does most of the population live in the Caribbean and South America? So where are more cities? Where do most people live? Where is most work? That kind of stuff. Again, please answer these in complete sentences. Email me if you have questions. I'll see you later.